Hello and welcome to Little Birdie's Monday Sports Show First Look. I'm your host, Nikki Sylvester. I do have MG in the studio with me today to cover the AFL Round 7 review, and we also have Toprope on the line to do the NRL Round 8 review. First Look is proudly brought to you by Little Birdie TV, topsport.com.au, Punting Form and Manscaped for the very best in men's grooming. Now, we do have some very serious business to cover because the Bull starts tomorrow. And so if you haven't already signed up, you need to get onto the Bulldozer 2022. The Little Birdie team and friends are uniting for a 3-day carnival at Warrnambool. Buy a share in our syndicate, and we bet every day, every race at the Bull with some out-wide stings on supporting cards. That kicks off at 10:30 tomorrow morning, so you need to sign up before then. MG, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Nikki, survived another big weekend in the Little Birdie the area. You were very social last night. I'm surprised you made it in this morning and actually in pretty good condition.
I stayed 10 metres away. It's hard to be late when you're that close, right?
Yes, making full use of the Little Birdie penthouse. You had a good night for your sister's upcoming wedding.
Yeah, it was amazing. So we got all the crew from Chiconi's there and everyone had an amazing time at the penthouse. It was so good. People could not believe it.
Yes.
She had a great time. Everyone was done and dusted by 10. I think we went back after dinner and had a couple of drinks. It was beautiful. It's such a great space. So everyone was blown away. She had a great time. She's ready for the wedding and made it here this morning.
You did, yeah.
Fresh-faced.
Yeah, another one Toprope's missed out on. Another invite he couldn't catch the helicopter down for, unfortunately.
When are we getting this chopper to get Toprope to all of our events? Because, come on, surely someone wants to sponsor the Little Birdie chopper at this point.
Toprope.
Got to get on board the chopper.
Come on.
Let's get investment in. Little Birdie's investing in everything else. We've got a penthouse. Chopper time, surely.
Oh, I agree. I think, a chopper and then the next thing we'll get the jet.
Yeah, we'll get him down. I think Toprope's coming down for the politics. We might have a politics night in a couple of weeks, he's telling me.
That's going to be fantastic. So. Well, I'll be sad to miss that one, but I'll be joining your live stream to have a look at what's happening for election night, and I'm sure Toprope's got that all covered.
It'd dead set be the first social event you've missed for a while, Nick.
Well, she's not exactly missing one. She's going to be in Italy, Toprope. So
they've given
seriously,
they've given me the nickname FOMO.
Miss FOMO.
FOMO.
That is true. Got to look after it down at the Bull for 3 days. That's going to test my patience, Toprope, I would have thought. Thanks for not joining me.
It's going to test your patience, your stamina, and your purse strings.
Yeah, Little Birdie credit card will be getting a bit of a working over, I reckon, over the next 3 days down at the Bull. But that's all right. All the boys in the studio, they'll make plenty of cash to make up for it. So get involved in the syndicate, as Nikki said, from tomorrow morning.
Amazing. Can't wait. Now, we should get into some footy action. So let's quickly cover the AFL Round 7 review. Here we go. Richmond beat the West Coast Eagles 165-56. Fremantle beat Geelong 69-66. The GWS took care of Adelaide 113-54. Melbourne beat Hawthorn 91-81. Port Adelaide beat St Kilda 43-42. Carlton took care of Kangaroos 114-64. Collingwood beat the Gold Coast 115-90. The Western Bulldogs beat Essendon 103-71. And Brisbane beat Sydney 113-89. MG, how'd it play out for you?
Yeah, not a bad week, Nikki. We started solidly on the Friday night with Richmond. Got the job done there with the line and the points. And then we ended the week well as well with the plenty of points in the Brisbane-Sydney game, especially after quarter time. So that was a good way to finish on the back of Toprope, which we'll cover later with Melbourne Storm just coasting, doing the job again. So, yeah, it was a good finish leading into, we certainly enjoyed the dinner last night because of that. So, yeah, it was good. Listen, the AFL had a few upsets, of course. Yep. Fremantle were unbelievable going down to the category. I didn't think that would take place and get a very solid victory there. And there was a few minor upsets with GWS knocking off Adelaide as well. And Port Adelaide getting up over St Kilda as well in can only be described as one of the worst matches I've seen in a long time when there's no weather involved and you get a scoreline of 43-42. I really hope that the AFL looks serious about having, especially night footy up in the far north with Cairns and stuff. It's just not appropriate for no one enjoys watching those kind of games. They kick 9, 20, something between them. It's just appalling standard, especially on a Saturday night time slot as well. So hopefully the AFL will do something and correct that. If they're going to play up there, maybe just keep them to the day-going slops. But, overall, I think it was an entertaining round of football. A few teams that needed wins like GWS got on the board.
Yep.
A few other ones are in dire straits and probably the seasons are over. West Coast definitely can plan their September holidays, and I think Essendon might be joining them on the same trip, I think. So your team, the Bombers, you'll just have to concentrate on getting Melbourne Storm home for the rest of the year, I think. But good week in the AFL, show to profit, and we'll get on to week 8.
Okay, we might just check out the week 7 results now. So here you can see week 7, the faves 5 out of 9, covers 4 out of 9, over total 7 of 9, and the home teams 4 of 9. And for the season, we're running for the faves 70%, the covers are at 52%, the over totals at 60%, and the home teams are 56%. And we think that's about right yet, MJ?
Yeah, it was probably an even week. The bookies probably just shaded the punters there with a couple of upsets, as we said, and there was only 4 covers. So good to see there was a few more points in this round with 7 of the 7 overs out of 9. So solid week.
Beautiful. And we'll just go to the AFL Stings results as well now. So here we had 3 bets. So we lost the first one and then we doubled up on the second. So that was the over totals there in the Sydney-Brisbane game. So you've had a really good weekend there.
Yeah,
we doubled up.
We showed a profit.
Yeah, showed a profit.
Yeah, we got our chips in good price on Geelong. I think it closed 23-24. So we bet early in the week there, got the right price. And I think speaking with OB on the Friday show, he was a big fan for Freo going into the week. So we kind of said when the line was up at 23-24, we actually made comment that if you were betting on the Friday that we thought Freo would be the side to go. So they were cheap early in the week, Geelong, and then I think they went too far, the bookies. But Freo got the upset there. And the Sydney-Brisbane total was probably one of the better totals, I think. The weather really cleared up, which is something that we try and monitor as best we can, and that line closed around 169, 170. So again, just getting the chips in at the right time, lucky enough to get the result for that game.
Perfect. So we're up. So that's the main thing here. We're just going to...
Pays the bills.
That's it. We've paid the bills. So we just got to quickly check, have a quick look at the Premiership market here. So what have we got? Melbourne sitting at 225, clear favourites now. Brisbane 5, Swans at 850, Freo at 13, Geelong 13, St Kilda 15, Western Bulldogs 16, Carlton 17 and Richmond 18. Anything here?
Yeah, the bookies really shortened up Melbourne, 275, 280 on last week's show when we covered it. So they just keep winning. I'm not sure where their first loss is going to come from. I know they've got St Kilda this week, but I think they'll just take care of business at the moment. We've been saying it probably definitely from week 1, week 2, we thought Melbourne would be the 1 seed, Brisbane, Sydney's probably the next. And I think beyond that, it shows it's a long tail in the AFL this year. The value's been sucked right out of Melbourne. Brisbane's starting to shorten up now. And I'd say Sydney is still, even though they lost to Brisbane on the weekend, they were pretty competitive for large parts. So, nothing really changes. And I'm sure the bookies are taking plenty on Melbourne.
All right. Now we're going to have a look at some of the other markets. We've got the Brownlow medal and the Coleman to have a look at after. So for the Brownlow, here we go. We've got Paddy Cripps at $3.95, Lockie Neal at $5.50. Anything you see here for the Brownlow? Yeah,
big guns standing out there, Nikki, aren't they? Cripps probably had maybe close to 4 BOG, so he's rightfully been favoured. He did miss a game. Lockie O'Neill was outstanding on the weekend. Personally, if I was having one bet right now in the market, I think Clayton Oliver of Melbourne's the value. Around that $9.50, $10 mark. If I was having one pick, I think Oliver's my man right now.
Okay, at $9.50, that's not bad for your multis. And then we're going to head to the Coleman medal. What do you see here? Or is this wide open in the Coleman?
Yeah, wide open, Nikki, as you can see, $5.30. 2 Geelong players head the list, so that's interesting. The big note probably from the weekend is Joey Danaher's injured his shoulder. Looks like he's out for a bit. But, as you can see, very tough to pick at the moment. But all the big key forwards are there, so we'll just monitor that as the year goes on. All
right. Thanks, MG. Now, if you are serious about your AFL punting, you need AFL Stings. So you need to head to the Little Birdie Live shop, get your AFL Stings for $22 a week. And there we go for your AFL punting, AFL Stings. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Top Rope. Welcome back to First Look, proudly brought to you by topsport.com.au. Family owned and operated for over 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with TopSport. Would like to welcome in Nick Toprope Tedeschi to do the Round 8 NRL review. Now we're just going to quickly have a look at the scores from the last week of the NRL. Brisbane beat Cronulla 16-7. Penrith beat the Titans 18-4. South beat Manly 40-22. The Warriors beat Canberra 21-20. The Bulldogs beat the Roosters 16-12. North Queensland beat Parramatta 35-4. The Melbourne Storm in another huge result, 50-2 against the Knights. And St George beat the West Tigers 12-6. Toprope.
Yeah, well, let's start from the top, Nick. And I guess the top might be the Bulldogs beating the Roosters, which I'm sure you thoroughly enjoyed there. It was wonderful to see the mighty Bulldogs get a win. Of course, probably a tough win to swallow that for Trent Barrett after he was cuckolded during the week and sent to the sidelines and made to watch Gus coach the side, and then all of a sudden they pulled out a win. So probably a pretty poor reflection of him, but much needed win out by the Bulldogs. A few question marks being asked about the Roosters now. That's five games this year they've been favoured by 10 or more points, and they haven't covered any of them. So a few losses in there as well against some far inferior teams. So Trent Robinson's still got plenty of time, but a few worries about how Luke Keary's playing, how the team's clicking. So bit to go on there. But back to the start of the week. Opened up with a pretty good game, actually. Broncos and Sharks. Broncos won 16-7. The key battle there was Katoni Staggs and CSF Talakai, who were looking to kind of push their claims for the origin left centre spot. And Staggs came out of the block straight away and was all over Talakai and dominating throughout the game. So big win for the Broncos. Big statement game for Staggs, no doubt. The Titans, under a lot of pressure. David Fifita, their big-name signing, dropped back to the bench. But they were much, much better. Lost 18-4, but a much better performance from the Titans. Penrith is too classy. A third of the way through the season, they remain undefeated. South and Manly, that was highlighted by the earliest send-off in 15 years when Carl Lawton was sent off for a spear tackle on Cameron Murray, who was a pretty reckless tackle and absolutely deserved to be sent off. Manly were pretty courageous in the end. No Tom Travojevic played with 12 players, but South's just too much firepower in 40-22. Warriors conceded 70 the week before. They looked like they were in all sorts against the Raiders, but the Raiders did plenty of Raiders things. Led 20-10 at half time. Got rolled 21-20 in extra time. John Johnson, returning hero, got the job done there with a field goal in Golden Point. Ricky Stewart almost blew a gasket. Probably the biggest shock of the week, the Eels started 8.5-point favourites in Darwin against the Cowboys. Absolutely blown off the park. They dominated the first 20 minutes, couldn't score, and the Cowboys went bang, 35-4. Wild win, that one for the Cowboys. So it might actually be better than most, including me, had peaked at the start of the year. Sunday rolled around. The Storm have made it 120 points in 2 games. They beat the Knights 50-2 on the road. Probably could have been more. I'd say the Storm probably weren't fully on song yesterday, but it was a pretty impressive win. And the big news out of that one, every bookmaker cheering that Ryan Pappenhausen didn't score a try and probably killed 95% of same-game multis, including about 10 of mine, because every other Storm player scored. And the Dragons, gritty in the end, beat the Tigers 12-6. And the Tigers probably dominated that game for probably the first 60 minutes, just couldn't get over the line. And so pretty stout win there for the Dragons, among 2 teams who will not be contending this year.
Okay, thanks, Toprope. Now we're going to have a quick look at the Week 8 results here. So we had 4 out of 8 faves win, 3 out of 8 covers, 2 out of 8 for the over totals, and 5 out of 8 for the home teams. And for the season, we're sitting at 69% for the faves, 50% for the covers, 39% for the over totals, and 66% for the home teams. Toprope, did you take anything out of this week on that?
Yeah, look, we saw some real low-scoring games here. We had a 23 total on Thursday, 22, an 18 on Sunday. Unders are hitting at 61% this year. I think the lines are still too high. They haven't probably fully adjusted from last year's high numbers. We're still seeing a lot of totals hover around that kind of 40 to 42 mark. That's very high in some of these games. So I'll certainly be kind of starting if you're having a bet on a game, wanting to bet the unders, and then if you find a reason to bet the overs, well then certainly feel free to switch. But I'd be kind of the default position should be the under in every game.
Okay, now your Week 8 results were huge, buddy. You've had 4 out of 5. Insane. I think I texted you and I'm like, you're on fire. And you said I was starting to doubt. And I'm like, mate, I never had any doubt in you at all. You have absolutely crushed it this week. What'd we get?
Yeah, easy win, easy watches. Some of those. We had 2.5 units on the Broncos line plus 10.5. They won the game outright. South's Manly over 38.5, nearly covered by half time. Kicked 62 in the end. The Warriors was a bit of a sweat at plus 1.5 there. Took a late penalty goal off a lying down injury from Matt Lodge to send that to extra time, but we've got the cash there. Melbourne was covering after about 15 minutes and never looked in doubt. And Parramatta, they let us down. Small spread of the weekend, but didn't get the job done at all. So they were very, very poor. But overall, very big profit for the week. So very happy with that.
Amazing. And that's just leading us into the ball week. Everyone's up and about. It's fantastic. I can't wait. And now we are going to have a quick look at Thursday night's game. So we've got South Sydney taking on the Broncos Thursday night at 7:50 p.m. at Accor Stadium. So we've got the head-to-head. South Sydney $1.31. The Broncos are $3.45. The line approximately at the moment is 9.5. No over or under totals because we are obviously on a Monday. Toprope, what do you think about this one?
Yeah, not a game I want to get too heavily involved with here. The Broncos are a different team away from home. Definitely would want to be against the Broncos this week. My concern with South is I'm just not sure how many points they've got in them without Latrell. I know they put 40 on Manly last week. That was against a 12-man side. I thought they played pretty poorly in patches. They got away with it in the end, but 12-team Manly kept themselves right in the game for a long period of time there. So, lean towards the minus, but not a game I'll be getting too heavily involved in.
Okay, so we're just going to sit back and watch that one for the moment. Now we're going to take a quick look at the NRL Premiership market as well. We've got Toprope here with us. So we've got Penrith at $2.70, the Storm at $3.20, Cronulla at 10, Parramatta at 11, the Roosters at 12, Manly at 15, South at 19, North Queensland at 26, and the Broncos at 67. Do you take anything from this? Any movement this week?
There's only 4 teams that can win it, and there's only 2 that have kind of real claims to it, Penrith and Melbourne. Sound like a broken record here, but would much rather be on Melbourne at the price than Penrith. I'm concerned about how the favourite hit Penrith after kind of winning last year. I think there's a bit more motivation at Melbourne this year. I do think the other 2 teams that can win it are Cronulla and the Roosters. I think they're both teams with a little more upside there at $10, $12. $12 about the Roosters in particular. I think they will finish in the top 4. I think there's significant improvement coming. I think, that's a very bettable price at the moment. But, you can't need odds, as they're saying. And the likelihood is we're going to be looking at a Penrith-Melbourne grand final.
Okay, there we go. Penrith-Melbourne for the early tip there. All right. Now, if you are serious about your NRL punting, you do need GGOA. You need to head to the Little Birdie Live TV shop and get that from $22 a week. The man is on fire. GGOA, $22 a week. Now, MG.
All right, Nikki, time for our charities for us to pony up on a Monday for our long-range best bet of the week. Unfortunately, last week, as you can see, we went duck eggs between us. We had a good week, and between us, we couldn't find one out of the 3. So our charities will be on the phone if we don't kick back this week, I'm sure. So very disappointing results across the board. So we'll move straight into our Week 9 predictions. Nikki, what have you got for Sids and Kids this week? Who are we going, NRL or AFL this week?
I'm sticking with the AFL. We had a little chat before this and we were struggling to find one for me, but I've settled on St Kilda at the plus 20.5.
Okay, St Kilda plus 20.5 there for Nikki. Toprope, Wayside Chapel is your charity. What have we found in the NRL this week? Bit of Ric Flair, or are we just going with stock standard here?
I don't know why I get so cute all the time. MG thinking I'm some kind of genius. We'll just do it. No need for any Ric Flair. Let's go as boring as anything. Let's just bet the Storm minus. We'll go the Storm minus, and we'll start feeding a few of these homeless up in Sydney. So minus 19.5 this week. I think they are. Sorry, minus 22.5 the Dragons.
Yeah, 19.5 there last week. The Melbourne Storm gravy train is rich for Toprope, so why not jump on board until they stop covering? He gave out the stats for the last 2 weeks. Myself, for Love Me, Love You charity, I am going the AFL, the Swans against the Gold Coast minus 28.5 there. So hopefully we can get on the board for this week's. Nikki.
Okay, thanks to MG and Toprope. That is a wrap for this week's episode of First Look. Don't forget to follow us on all of our socials, Twitter and Insta. Head to YouTube, hit the subscribe button, download our podcast everywhere you get your good podcasts from. Remember to sign up for the Bulldozer. That ends tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. The boys will be back on Friday with OB to cover all the latest weekend footy action. You can also find that at topsport.com.au. Have a great week. We'll see you from the Bull.